Hi, I'm Shayna Hornstein, and I am in the psychology department, and I'm the program director for the Developmental Disabilities Specialist Certificate Program.
Hi, I'm Jeff Sanger. I'm a residential faculty member here at GCC, and I also direct the honors program here along with Mike Strong.
My name is Kim Feld, and I'm in the Communication and World Language department.
My name is Stephanie Sawyer, and I'm in the Fitness and Wellness department.
My name is Erica Hobson, and I'm from the Fitness and Wellness department.
My name is Thomas Aubrey. I'm the director for the Behavioral Health Sciences program.
Hi, I'm Gabriela Cojano. I am business faculty at Glendale Community College.
We get to use community-based learning every semester in the honors program because our students that have the President's Honor Scholarship are required to do 4 hours of volunteering.
Students were to pick a particular culture or people group to do research on. Part of what was built into that is they also had to go and serve that community. So students were able to serve Congolese students and like younger kids, and they were also able to serve Iraqi refugees.
I teach small business classes, general business, to bring businesses from the community to share with the class what they're doing and bring one challenge for students to work together in groups and come up with solutions. And then they did a class presentation, and we brought the business back to hear their proposal or their solution, their recommendations.
Since the initiation of the Behavioral Health Sciences program, we have a practicum or internship program here. It's BHS 190.
So we've been hosting field trips for high school and elementary students to come to campus and experience our sports performance lab. These field trips give those students the opportunity to learn about health sciences, and they provide an opportunity for our students to practice their skills.
We will be doing a community-based project with the Somali refugees where the students will work one-on-one with them. They're going to identify a problem and then work and come up with strategies to solve the problem.
I teach 2 classes where I use community-based learning. The first is Psychology of Developmental Disabilities, and the students in that class complete 5 hours volunteering directly with people with developmental disabilities. And I also teach an internship course for students in the Developmental Disabilities Specialist Certificate, where they complete 80 hours over the course of the semester, working directly with people with developmental disabilities.
I think when students actually do something with the information or engage with the content personally firsthand, that is when true learning takes place. And not only true learning, true transformation takes place. It's a totally different thing to go and interact with that community and then come back and reflect, and then they can go, that's what that was meaning.
It's a great way for our students to give back to the community, but it's also a great way for them to reflect upon the work that they're doing in their classes and how at times it connects to the work that they're doing in the community.
Like reading stories, even case studies just wasn't sufficient, and that they needed to sit down and have a conversation with a person with a disability to realize they are just like you and me. They just have a disability.
One of the benefits of community-based learning is this type of learning, this experiential education, is memorable. The students will not remember the theory, they're not going to remember the tests, but they're going to remember the Congolese people they met and they helped.
So students have the opportunity to understand and kind of walk in the shoes of a real business owner, understand the challenges, understand how it is to be a business owner, is knowing that the skills that they get through the experiential learning project or whatever type of experiential learning a faculty does in class benefits students for life.
It definitely builds their confidence. They're able to practice the skills they're going to need in the real world with support from me and their classmates. We can reflect after on what we would have done differently, so they have the opportunity to really think about what they're doing so they can apply it when they're on their own.
So it gives them that hands-on experience that they need, and it really gives them the opportunity to take a look at is this really the profession I want to go into? It also gives them the ability to take a look at what population do I want to work with.
Something that's meaningful to them, fun, interactive, because they love working with other students, right? And it's opening the door to a lot of opportunities for students. For the faculty, it's an enormous satisfaction to see the growth in students, to read students' reflection and see their aha moments. And
community-based learning adds life to my classroom, and it adds like real world tangible stuff to what they're learning.
Well, working in fitness and wellness, I'm a very kinesthetic learner. And I have also found that a lot of my students are kinesthetic learners. And so when we go and work directly with them one-on-one, eyeball to eyeball, they're gonna learn a lot.
It allows me the ability to communicate with partners out in the workforce community.
So I think for me, it's life, it's the fun, it's the engagement side of learning that students seem to really appreciate.
Community-based learning gives us a unique opportunity to see where students are really developing some of those learning outcomes that we want to see in terms of leadership, in terms of identifying places they can take initiative in the community. It's a way they can kind of really put into action a lot of goals that we have for the honor students, and it's a way for us to see that and measure that through the work that they do and the assignments that are associated with it.
Sometimes we have these amazing experiences, but we don't take the time to reflect. So this really helps kind of hone in conclusions and learning and understanding, self-understanding and realization of, oh, I actually like doing this project work, or, you know, I found it challenging. This was what was challenging for me.
And I think too, the other thing about reflection is it's not just so that we can see what they did, it's so that the student can reflect on it, and some of those things become sort of crystallized in their mind when they write about them. They get more out of the experience, I think.
It was like, what did you see when you're engaged in this project? What did you think about it? And then what did it make you wonder? So I have students kind of go through this thinking routine after they engage in a project, and it really helps them dig deeper into their mind about what they experienced.
I give a menu of options of what their assignment can look like. They can write a paper, but they could also make a video, either of somebody interviewing them with the 6 questions that are required, or they could use one of the many websites that allows you to do creative video things with animations and cartoon characters and things like that. I've also had people make a brochure about the agency that they volunteered with and answer the questions for the assignment within that brochure format. And I've had a few really creative students that have hand-drawn comics for me and made sort of a comic strip and turn in that. So I allow the creativity to flow because it isn't an assignment that so much has right or wrong answers to it.
After every experiential learning activity, we reflect on what went well, what was surprising, what they would do differently next time, so they can learn from their mistakes and celebrate their successes.
So some of the challenges that we've had with community-based learning. Well, number one, we were fortunate that previous honors program directors had already implemented volunteering as part of the co-curricular requirements. And so they had already identified a lot of great volunteer providers for us. However, we had to go forward with figuring out how to identify some new ones in the face of the pandemic, but we got lots of support from career services to make sure that the providers that we identified could be vetted and were, willing to sign off on the proper insurance paperwork.
The main challenges are with the planning piece. There are a lot of moving elements when you're coordinating another school with another teacher and all of their transportation. So just getting everybody here and getting all of the groups organized is a challenge in itself. The main thing that I've learned when organizing that is to make very user-friendly schedules for everybody so that everybody goes to the right place at the right time.
I encountered a challenge in just where do I start, how do I go? And I'm so thankful that we now have a program that can help me.
I had to quickly pivot and figure out how can I still do my community-based learning volunteer assignment, but have it be virtual so that students feel safe. and I'm not asking them to go in person. So now I have both offered in my current semester.
Just like we want our students to learn hands-on and experience the highs and the lows of integrating something, it's the same for faculty. It's not going to go perfect the first time, but it's a learning curve. Reflect, move on, and next time will be better.
My message to new faculty wanting to try CBL is just do it. You will not regret it. It will be way worth the energy and effort. And it may look messy and it may not be perfect, but even if it's not, it's going to have impact with you and the students.
If you're thinking about starting community-based learning, give yourself time. Give yourself at least a full semester, if not more than that, to prepare everything. And don't be afraid to cold call and cold email people asking them to participate. You'll be surprised how excited and willing different organizations are to join you in this venture. So just go for it and give yourself time.
I would highly encourage them to implement an internship program in their academic program, whether midway or towards the beginning, because it gives the students an opportunity to get a feel of the field that they're going into. That gives them the ability to make the choice early in the game, whether this is the major they want to go into or the field they want to go into.
I would say just go for it. Get started working on it. If you're wondering about it, there's a lot of supports out there, people who will help you kind of put this into action.
I would say reach out. We have the resources on campus. We have people who will work with you and help you.
Students value being engaged in the relevant real-life conversations or projects. And experiential learning could bring that to a classroom. If we don't inspire students' confidence in taking action, then how useful is learning? To quote Bruce Lee, knowing is not enough, we must apply. And willing is not enough, we must do.